So turn 0, I started this recording a bit late, I'm sorry, but turn 0, my opponent sent show strength and I'm a block. So that's that. Now we're at turn 2 here going on. I got pretty nice pummel hand. This game was like actually really fun. It was a long grindy game, but there was a lot of cool stuff happening here on this game for players. As well as I guess like RKO. Their list seemed to be quite like Manstand's list from Siege side events, and that list looks good. Like this is sent disable over crown is to get back in the deck 1 cries, and then like the damage is kind of same. Like losing van value is just do anything. So now we just block 4 twice there and pass on. Rather than swinging the hammer that they can block, I'll just get my game started and use imposing here because it's kind of free and I do want to go down lower. So I'm paying damage, I'm like paying life to turn myself online. Like the HP management is very important. Yeah, well, this CNC is coming for 10, which is a little unfortunate. I really wanted to play the Edge of Glory, and if they have pummel here, I'm kinda dead to it, but hey, can't play around everything always, right? At least they gave me confidence, but it doesn't still do anything. Let's play the Guardian thing. I like Moment Maker a lot now because I'm playing a lot more auras in this list, and the Moment Maker, it just gets stuff done. Like you can pitch the 0 cost auras and it swings for 4. That's reasonably important part, to be fair. Our opponent's sending CNCs. I'm just blocking here. They have again pummel open, but the read was their arsenal was not pummel, so I think I'm a little bit safer here. And off of Tunic, I plan on playing Hungry on their turn, so I get Tunic counter on my turn as well. Using Tunic on opponent's turn is like very, very broken. It's like actually so good. Yep, they play Solace, they play Rainbow Mocking Blow, 3 CNC. Now I just transfer thing here and then pass. 41 43, not much happening, but also like I have not hit my auras and I've been just hit by CNC, so it kind of stalls the game, right? So now another Mocking Blow. If they get booed, it goes to +4 and then they can pump it base to 6, so it's 10. But that would be 3 card 10 then plus the vigor, I guess. It's like good numbers. But I'm taking damage. Too many reds in this hand, which is unfortunate. I upped the red count, the blue count a little bit. So now we here do the trick. Let me rewind back a bit. So we activate, and now we respond to the kill trigger with full charm, and return the one that we got the counter from because I want blue for my hand and arsenal act of glory. And then we put the counter on what happens next, so it survives. It's really nice control here. On suspense counters, it's very important for the longevity of the Istings. And now also I'm 1 life down, so now I can start the confidence chain a bit. And I guess they read pummel from my hand, which is fair because I have 1 floating in Tunic. And I did fetch myself a blue. Also, like using charm on opponent's turn gave me cheer, like the confidence token as well. So I get this true no matter what. So thinking a bit on this, I wanted to play the edge, but it's not doing anything. So save Tunic, play the life thing, grind a bit. They get life too. And this, the good thing with Hungry for more is that when it's played on my turn, I can crank the counter on, like, say what happens next, and then my hero untaps. He has 1 counter on their turn. I can crank the counter again for what happens next, so I end up going +1 counters that way. You just have to avoid, if you can, to tick down on your own turn, but now I'm just getting mega punished here. I just wanted to set some auras and swing with a Moment Maker, but now it's the pummel, the one that I feared. But I still can spend this hand quite well, and I don't mind taking like this damage, right? So we just play the Act of Glory for the cost reduction, and now we have to also like tick down the Hungry to keep what happens next a little bit longer on the game. Now we can also just ship all the auras. Wait, what am I discarding? Wait, huh? Hello? Okay, I'm trolling. I'm trolling. Yeah, like, my bad. Just play all the auras, right? I just wouldn't do anything. Just Tunic Superstar. Play the thing. I did not even notice this. That's why it's so good to review these games, by the way. Yeah. I can just look at yourself and laugh, and I'm ass. It is what it is. But well, like with this Moment Maker list, I've been having a lot of success actually. Like my win rate is now around 70%, which is acceptable, I think. It's definitely feeling better, but there's a lot to optimize. The public stats on it are not great, but like some people are reporting that they have been acing their armories and shit with the list, which is like really cool. Love to see that. So now yeah, we just get back the Cries of Encore, because here we can start the loop as I have the Act of Glory coming to fruition. So we have to transfer it up on the pedestal counter on what happens next, and then block with Hat here. Unfortunately, it's a full red hand, but since we have Tunic counter now, we can use this to our advantage. Maybe I had to kick our brain there to save the Tunic counter. Okay, let's pump it to 8. Taking numbers. Smoking Blow is good, but it's just numbers, right? It's not doing much of anything that I care of. Transfer the counter on what happens next there. And I don't need the cost reduction or like something to pitch for when I play the thing. And I hear praying for it, no Tunic activation. So we ship this. It's backed up with Confidence again, and it will create another Confidence. Now this pocket is what this hero just excels in. Like, I'm starting to grind this game so hard. I'm grinding this game so hard from now on. So the third thing with Confidence, there's no way they can block it. And there's one target that I do want to put back from grave, which is Pedestal. So then we can fetch the Cries of Encore back on top of my deck and try it again for next turn. So this is like a way of beating fatigue / deck damage as well. And then we just go ahead here and we can like play everything. I can play like the flick from my mouse told that I want to play what happens next X2 and then play Tension for free. But I can also just play Act of Glory and keep things around block with the Tension, which I think is better play. But this one does not warrant blocking, and I just want to... What's the word? I want to go lower life than them, right? It's an interesting dynamic playing against a reviled hero. So we go ahead and do this, which is fine because like Tension also gets the Cries of Encore through because it has Confidence again. But I do want to be lower life. They want to be ahead in life. So both of our decks mechanics work. So it's kind of interesting that way. So now we just can send the Cries of Encore and my opposing hero and save the AOG for next turn in the next swing, because you can like layer up where you go. Cries of Encore, you do like the loop, and when you want to break out of it, you make the confidence where you like bang really hard, or you don't even need the loop. Like you hit hard with Cries of Encore, and then it creates confidence, and now your opponent is down life on you. Then you can hit another thing hard, backed up with confidence, and then sort of just like play a turned off hero in a sense where you just write in the victory that life lead, and just play like Guardian value numbers. That's like one angle to do it in the mid-range matchups too. But I've been also landing quite a lot of standing ovations lately, and it's been a banger card. Like I feel like they've printed these cards for a reason for this hero. They know what they're doing. We don't know what we're doing yet. That's like reasonable. Now this hand has CNC, AOG, blues. It seems like a refill turn. They sent the Mocking Blow. It's just gonna be. It's not even gonna be booed. So. Oh, never mind. They hero boost them, so it will be booed, I guess. The Tingaling coming for 9. It's blocking 3. Because I do want to play a little bit of auras here. Now the reason I activate this here instead of playing AOG is because I don't really have a big payoff for next turn, so I'm looking to swing Moment Maker and hopefully create a confidence. I could swing Disable here as well for confident backed up. If the opponent had Arsenal, that would be a real line, right? But now it's just damage, so it's whatever. So I'll use this turn to put Cries of Encore on top of my deck, and then play out the AOG on their turn, and the tension and the AOG Act of Glory will tick down in unison. So I will have a very big Cries of Encore. I just need to manage my life to be lower than theirs, which from this point is quite feasible, right? And I need to play, I realized that I need to play this on their turn because I do want to play the Superstar as well. And then swing the Moment Maker for 6. So Moment Maker is like really nice on these bridge turns. That happens sometimes, where you just kind of like play for setup, tank damage, send Moment Maker for 6, and then do a payoff turn. And you do like this triple turn loop, where of course like it starts to deviate a lot, but it's kind of like my main idea for this list and this hero. It's like doing just Guardian things is not, firstly, it's not interesting to me. Secondly, I don't think it's good enough right now. It's way too fair. So maybe there's like fatigue version that might be the best list that she can have, but you know, I have to play the wizard stuff, yeah. And like Charm at 3, yeah, I mean, still doesn't do anything. I just have to confirm that it goes through and then play the Superstar. It is the important part. So now, you see the line? You can just block or send the edge. Or we could just play the edge and then swing the hammer. But, you know, blocking for 5 is pretty good. I can just arsenal the edge. It's like for sure they're gonna have a blue in their hand, so might as well block 5. And now use the Superstar to keep the weapons next on the game. These longer running games, weapons next is like the best thing. I should have also like killing there, but I messed up that turn. So now there is the payoff now. 17. And I have 2 floating, Tunic and 1 to bring up something, and confidence for next turn as well. So it could be something like tension and then an arsenal edge, or then I can just continue looping. But it's just, this entirely depends what I'm gonna fetch on how my opponent blocks. and how I think the late game macro will go down, like which way. Another steel victory. Yeah, they may take 1 confidence out of me. So now they will swing back for sure. So does that mean that I can get pedestal now? Breaking chain, because if you're gonna pedestal, you might as well break the chain. But there is for tension a good argument as well. I did not use too much of palm this game. Maybe I missed the use cases for palm, but might as well take the Christ of Angor. It is the best card in the deck. Low key. I can't play edge, but if I have tunic I can play tension. And then I will hit Christ again and I can block with the other tension. And next turn I can have edge with another Christ because I can kill the pedestal. Or then a disruptive piece, right? Take this because I do want to go lower than them. And I can just block on the next attack. If they do send something like that. Oh yeah, they will. I will fetch a card from inventory. This hits for quite a lot. But at least they can't put the base, so give it +4. So now I should just block with tension in the air. Yeah, well, it doesn't matter if I use boots or gauntlets here. It doesn't matter really. Play the tension, keep what happens next round. Send this. Now we can do, we can't do pedestal now, but we can do Hungry for More, which is like really cool. And unfortunately I can't double crank the auras again for what happens next, but don't need to. The sitting opponent every turn with evasive damage is so broken. Like this confidence token is so broken. Or is kind of Guardian Azalea. It's like a weird mix of Guardian, Azalea, and Oscilio. I feel like it is here. It's kind of funny. Get the Hungry for More. There we go. Insane values there on that Christ. Pummel in a pretty bad hand, actually. And Turning Point is not online. Whoop whoop. Use the Hungry counter for what happens next. And then we can just play the Act of Glory or block with it. Because we are probably swinging Harry Hammer anyways. So we just block 8 there. I think that chance is fine. Because you are still... I do want the life buffer to actually like swing anything after. So blocking... Like there's the interesting option of doing 2 card 6 setup. Or block for 2 card 6. So this context I feel like blocking was more important. And having the life buffer to go the game back and forth a little bit. Because if I get down the threshold where I need to block a lot, it gets very weird. And I probably lose. Oh shit. Charmander. So they swing this. And I can just take it all. Like I can actually just take it all. And play the thing. There's no tunic. There's no pummel. They can do to it. Sending Christ for 12. That is their life total. I feel like that's it. But this blocking decision is a little bit interesting. I guess I'll use the... Why I did like that doesn't matter anyways. Yeah, I rewound here because it does not matter. Because I'm anyways bouncing a blue back with the charm. But now what is this play? Okay, I missed one value with toughness because I have one floating on Act of Glory. And I could just pitch the charm, but okay, I got confidence. Yeah, I got confidence. That was a little bit better, but it's like the main thing, I guess. But I missed one value on boots and toughness there. And I have Tunic up, so we can go Hunger for More again. Pretty nice. I'm also kind of leading the deck damage because I have Pedestal in hand. I knew I had Pedestal in deck, as well as I have a lot more life and I can just swing Moment Maker, so it just gets stuff done a lot better than Claw. Now I can also use the Thespian Charm to double cast. Cash in the 3 life and double cast Palm with Hunger for More again. So it's just actually netting a fair bit of life. Bully Tactics. The Intimidate can be very bad here. That is very obnoxious. I felt like I played this game pretty good, but I made a lot of mistakes. That's why these reviews are very nice. Oh damn. So I'm blocking around Pummel or the plus because they have Tunic counter, so they can just up the space. Now I can't do sadly the double spell on Palm. I could have done it beforehand. Maybe it was better to do it beforehand in response to the big bully. To pick the things up and then play, but this turn seems dubious. I could have. It's just to be continued and Hungry in Arsenal. I feel like that's the best. But then I also miss one counter here because I did not play to be continued beforehand. Yeah, I miss one suspense counter here. Activate Pleiades to get the counter off from to be. What was the thing that I bounced? The Hunger for More. Then float it and then play it in response to be continued, put it down and then swing hammer. So now I should have to be continued on 3 counters. Oh, that's like 4 or 5 turns that I've been trolling this game. But yeah, this can be Tunic again. But I can at least like play my whole hand. If there's Tunic, I can play Cries of Encore, like pitch Cries of Encore. Yeah, there we go. Is there last Pummel, I believe. I was tracking them down. And now the counter should be put on to be continued, and it should be on 4 counters. So now my opponent gets full tempo here, but they are in a lot of blues in their deck. The Pleiades should be played in a way where you also like pitch stack and track your opponent. So that's why like pitching good reds, like games you know gonna go long, pitching good reds for second cycle is like really nice. Take this and block the next one. Because there is also an angle. Oh, I get the Mocking below. So it's gonna hit for 9. I do need to block 2 cards take 2 because to be continued is very nice now. It's gonna block 3 damage. Hit 0 from scraps. I feel like it did not matter. I did get 4 damage from that, which is of course huge, but my lead was quite big at this point. So swing this for 11, probably take their whole hand. Yep, there we go. Entire hand. No tokens gotten. Here's a cool thing about to be continued too. If they swing something, I can just use the prevention from to be continued, and after that kill it and transfer the counter to what happens next. So I get all the effects from it. So it's like technically on base, even if you don't put any counters on it, if you value each counter as a 1 value, because that's why it technically like is, it's still 3 values. So same thing is true with killing. So that's like really nice. Also, I'm a big fan of these disables. And I could swing Moment Maker for 6 or disable for 7. So I think that +1 here is very meaningful, of course. Now opponent will gain 4. This is rather annoying. And we just ourselves to be continued because there is like no reason to play it out. It might lose 1 counter for no reason. Now this hand can swing Standing Ovation, but there's no confidence. You should never swing Standing Ovation thinking ahead if there's no... what's his face? If there's no confidence backed up on it. So the line I will go here is we can swing. We can swing Moment Maker for 10 here actually. Which is like, this line is pretty cool as well. Where you can combat trick the Moment Maker, the same way you can combat trick Standing Ovation on a hit. Or killing +1. Those are like lines I really like in this hero. So opponent wants to send something back. So they block like this. And then we play the aura from Arsenal, which is our 3rd aura. So Moment Maker goes online and it's for 10. And I think like the offensive values are more important in Moment Maker, like more important for this hero, which are gained from Moment Maker rather than Titan's Fist and a shield, because it's also a lot better sync for your pumps, because sometimes you don't get to do your lineups if your opponent is disruptive. So then you just put it on Moment Maker and hopefully have the thing online. And the on-hit is actually good. Like, it's actually very good on-hit for a weapon. And now we just win the game. GG's.